In 2010, President Barack Obama appointed Nish Acharya to be his Director of Innovation and Entrepreneurship. On a Tuesday morning, Acharya received an email about an office lockdown. The fact that the office network was expecting a computer virus and they would temporarily lose their ability to send and receive emails. But Acharya's work didn't stop in these 6 weeks. In fact, he got better at his job. He would have more in-person meetings with his colleagues. He got to focus on his work for longer periods of time. And he could actually dig deep into literature and legislation relevant to his policy. During these 6 weeks, he generated breakthrough ideas for his agency. What if the blackout, in other words, wasn't a disaster, but instead a preview of how all successful entrepreneurs and executives will be organizing their work in the very near future? Since 1900, the productivity of a manual laborer has increased by a fold of 50, but not so much for the knowledge worker. In his book, Deep Work, Cal Newport argues about the neglected importance of undisturbed attention on productivity in today's society. According to a report by Rescue Time, the average knowledge worker checks in on email and instant messaging every 6 minutes. Another paper showed in 2005, workers sent and received an average of 50 emails per day. In 2011, the number rose to 92. And in 2019, it became 126. In his recent book, A World Without Email, Newport argues constant communication, although convenient and cheap, doesn't align with the way our brains process information. Besides, it reduces output and affects well-being. To start off, digital distractions make us less productive. The first reason is multitasking. In a research paper titled Constant Multitasking Craziness, researchers found workers experience a high level of discontinuity in their execution of activities at work. Excluding meetings, people spend on average slightly over 3 minutes on every event, rotating between desk work, phone calls, email, and other activities. Multitasking stops you from peak performance because of attention residue. The fact that you're still thinking about task A, even though you've moved on to task B. In the paper, Why Is It So Hard to Do My Work?, Professor Sophie Leroy conducted experiments to investigate the impact of multitasking on task performance. These results suggest that even when people are asked to work on only one of their tasks, their mind tends to multitask. That is, they tend to think about several tasks at the same time. Multitasking, or doing several things simultaneously, has often been considered in terms of what people do, and not necessarily what people think about or how they allocate their attention among their tasks. Although it is possible to train your mind to focus on one task, and mindfulness can be a useful intervention, digital communication tools can also be a distraction to managers. Managers may adopt a laissez-faire leadership style by sending emails to team members instead of communicating with them directly. In his book, Newport argues, email makes us miserable. In a 2016 paper co-authored by Gloria Mark, researchers looked at heart rate variability of participants checking emails on a regular basis, heart rate variability being a common measure for mental stress. HRV signals revealed less stress when emails were turned off. Researchers also reported signs of psychological distress on the faces of participants. Emails are also less effective modes of communication, thereby creating more administrative work. Do you ever notice how messages tend to bounce back and forth just because the email is ambiguous, commonly misunderstood? Things would be so much easier if you just went for a meeting or a phone call. By now you must be thinking, I can't ditch WhatsApp, I can't ditch email, it's an important part of my life. As social creatures, human beings want to connect with others. This is why denying digital communication is so hard. Because when you're choosing not to respond to a WhatsApp message, you're denying an opportunity for social interaction, and that can put you at unease. There are processes to better manage attention at large corporations, including the use of task boards, information coordination, and specializing practices. And many large corporations have jumped at the opportunity. Ariana Huffington's company, Thrive Global, started exploring how to free its employees from email anxiety when they're on vacation, and they introduced the Thrive Away. If you send an email to a colleague who's on vacation, you receive a note informing you that your message has been deleted, and you can resend it when they're back. German startup founder Lasse Rennigens and the author of 5-Hour Workweek actually introduced 5-hour work weeks at his firm. He said once staff eliminated distractions and endless conversations about work, 5 hours was enough to complete all the activities that mattered most to the firm.
The brain wasn't made for 8-hour creative work, just as work. Plus, it's hard to stay focused in a world of distractions.
For every advantage a new technology offers, there is a corresponding disadvantage, and email is a case in point. The knowledge economy is undervaluing undisturbed attention and overvaluing the convenience and flexibility offered by new technologies, particularly constant communication and digital distractions. In my opinion, Newport's title, A World Without Email, may not 100% be possible, but we can take time to understand the impact of digital distractions on productivity, well-being, and other aspects of life, exercise self-discipline, and work towards peak performance in the long run. If you like this video, make sure you share it with friends and family. Subscribe to our channel for more videos about whole person well-being, self-improvement, and peak performance.